Presented by Hubbard's Marina. Hosted by Captain Mike Anderson and Captain Dylan Hubbard.
Good morning, Tampa Bay, 970 WFLA, talking fishing. Going to be here until 8 o'clock.
Unfortunately, only till 8 o'clock.
Absolutely, unfortunately. Lots of stuff to cover here this morning. First of all, I want to put a shout out to Big D Hubs for covering for me again last weekend. I do appreciate you, my brother.
Yeah, you caught a little heat. That wasn't me, though.
Yeah? Who'd I get heat from?
The Mahoney family.
Whatever.
They kind of started the ball rolling, and it rolled downhill fast.
Mahoney works like 6 hours a week. He's like, hey,
it wasn't him specifically, surprisingly.
Oh, Mark got in on it, huh?
I believe it was Mark.
Had to be Marcus.
Yeah.
He's an FSU fan. We can't take anything he says too serious.
There you go.
Yeah, exactly. So, come on. What's our weather look like, dog?
It is an interesting time right now. We are flirting with almost a fall pattern this week, but like a weird one, right? We had a miniature cold front.
I saw that. I felt it. You could feel it.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think if you weren't paying attention, you didn't notice it. It was kind of very weak.
I don't know how you couldn't notice it dude. Some of the heat has been so bad. Like when you walk outside, it punched you in the chest a little bit, bro. It was hot. Yeah.
Yeah, I get what you're saying.
I thought it was, you didn't walk out and go, hey,
it's cold.
Yeah, it's cold. But you walked out.
It wasn't a cold front. I wouldn't even call it a cool front.
Humidity changed a little bit.
Exactly.
Felt like, yeah.
That's essentially what happened is we had the humidity dropped for a few days, and now we're in that high pressure, which typically happens right behind these little fronts. And then we have another low coming in here at the end of the weekend, probably sometime Sunday, and setting up for the week. So we have barometer changes.
Okay.
So nothing really spectacular that you're going to feel, like I said, but the fish are going to notice it with the pressure changes, and then couple that with the full moon that's coming Monday as well. So you have a full moon, you got a lot of moving water, and then we've had that murky condition, and it seemingly has been slowly clearing up, and then pair that with the full moon Monday too, which should help even force that clear up, that big volume changeover even more. So I'm thinking end of the weekend, start of the work week should be a really good bite with that barometer lowering, that full moon settling in. We've got some pretty good tides. Yeah.
Outgoing tide bite is one. Even here leading up to the moon, that's the reports I've been getting was that the outgoing tide was much better than the incoming. Well,
also the outgoing tide's been all day basically. So if you fish in the daylight, you were fishing the outgoing tide.
That's true.
That's pretty much all you were left with. This week it'll change up a little bit. I think that tide will get a little bit more extreme. We'll see more two tide days, but the moderate wind is back. It is not that super still flat condition. We've had some days here where we've got some 10 to 15s in there. So the breeze is coming back a little bit slowly, and that's what happens when these pressure changes occur, these frontal boundaries play over our area. But nothing really significant in the forecast. Potentially this upcoming weekend, we have another little high pressure settling in, but time will tell. A lot of that can change, and this time of year, it gets really even more difficult, these transition periods. And it's hard to even call it a transition period because we're not even into September yet. But seemingly that's what's happening in the atmosphere.
Like
yeah. And when you get into these times of year, it becomes very difficult to do a forecast with any real certainty more than 3 or 4 days out. So it's exciting, though.
Yeah.
Already seeing some of those changes and setting up for a good early fall,
football season,
late summer. Yeah, I mean, football season has started.
It has. Well, preseason has started. Yes.
Yeah. Well,
it's
that
coming.
Season?
Yeah, it's
the word season is in the name.
It is. It's preseason, but usually the weather starts to get right as we fall into regular season games, and that's right around the corner here. Our weather update brought to you by our good friends at Reese Windows and Doors. You know, they're Florida's leading window and door company with over 50 years in the business. They offer free installation, most windows and doors installed in just 6 weeks. They only use in-house installers, no freelance contractors. Their work comes with a double lifetime warranty. What does that mean for you? It means you never pay for warranty. When you sell your home, the warranty transfers to the new owners, which adds value to your home. Visit reesewindows.com for more info. Before we dive too far into the show this morning, Also want to put a shout out. We do have a new partner that just came on board. We are super excited. Innovative Pools and Spa is a new partner of ours for over 35 years now. Stacy and Tommy have been running Innovative Pools and Spas, and they have been doing a great job. Over 10,000 pools to their name. That's really, really impressive. When Beth and I were putting our pool in, everybody was like, dude, you're crazy. Why would you do that?
Yeah.
Well, at the time, Georgia was, I don't know, God, it was 10 years ago or so. So she was 10, 11, 12 years old. We wanted all the kids to come play at our house.
Yeah.
Everybody said, well, once the kids are gone, you won't use the pool anymore. It's just a hole in the backyard. Just throw money in it. Beth and I love our pool, man. We were in the pool yesterday. I look out there and I'm like, hey, I got a half hour. I'm getting in the pool. I just love our pool, man. So if you're thinking about a pool and somebody tells you, oh, don't do it, it's just with the new salt systems and all that, they're not that hard to take care of. It's pretty easy. I'm as busy as anybody, and it's easy to take care of. I don't have somebody come and take care of it for me. It's real simple. And we absolutely love our pool. I love what it does to the backyard. We love the ambiance. We love everything about our pool. I'll be in it this weekend. I guarantee you. At some point, I will be in the pool. So
I do want a pool.
Yeah. Well, it's just, they are incredible. And Innovative Pools and Spas, our new partner, we welcome them. We'll talk more about them as we roll on here. They're a fishy bunch as well, which we love to hear. We love to have partners with us who love to fish. So super excited to have them on board. Lots of stuff to talk about today. Fishing's been interesting to say the least. That water's still really tannic. Talking with some of the guys this week, you couldn't really see the bottom. You couldn't see the flats if you were fishing in 3 foot of water.
Dude, it was crazy. You couldn't see the bottom of the shrimp tank.
Yeah.
It was nuts.
It's nuts.
Like you put your hand in the bait bucket and your hand would disappear.
Right.
It was murky.
Murky,
behind
dude.
Debbie.
Yeah, murky. And what kind of surprised me was how long it took. I know it kind of fell
really
between.
Long time.
Yeah, it fell between the moons. I get it. With that being said, I'm still just shocked that it took that long for it to clear up. That's the amount of rain we got.
Mm-hmm.
So
it was impressive.
Yeah, it pushed up. A lot of the bait disappeared. It was tough to find bait. All that stuff went deep, went offshore. Didn't like all that freshwater influx. So, it's.
But the bait is back.
The bait is coming back. Things are getting better. Bite's improving a little bit. Again, I think your outgoing tide's going to be an afternoon bite here the next couple of days, probably for the next 7 days or so. I'm headed for Louisiana. Mike Fournette and I are going to fish together and do some filming, and we were talking last night about it. And last time I fished with him in Louisiana, it was an afternoon bite, and he said the same thing. He's like, I don't think there's any reason for us to get on the water at 7 a.m. I think we can get out there by 9 or 10 in the morning and get that afternoon bite and get it done, because that's just what you're going to have on this full moon. They eat real hard all night. Your morning bite slows down. It gets tough through midday, and then the afternoon comes. Tide starts to move a little bit. You should get some action. So same scenario here.
And it's similar offshore, too. I mean, the night bite is really strong for those snapper. It gets a little soft, kind of mid-morning-ish. Really, it goes around the moon set. Sometimes the moon will stay up into the early morning.
Absolutely.
And sometimes the moon will stay up most of the day.
Painful.
And that actually
It's usually painful.
Yeah. So it kind of depends on the moon set as well. But generally around the full moon, you have a better night bite versus the day bite. But that afternoon, like you said, tends to pick up. It's that mid-morning heat of the day that really seems to be especially painful.
Yeah. It's funny that you say that, because for years now, that's, if you're not paying attention to the sky while you're fishing and you look up and you see that moon hanging, that's usually the answer to why your bite is not so great.
But also at the same time, fishing is so intricate and there's so many different variables that go into it. I always urge caution to people because they get so hung up. I see it all the time. Well, the moon's not right. I'm not going fishing. It's silly to get so hung up on one variable, because everything we just talked about could be thrown off if we have an overcast night.
Well,
if it's really overcast
100%.
overnight, then all of a sudden that
changes.
That full moon had no effect because all that moonlight's blocked. Yeah, you still get a pretty good tide at night, but you might as well have a new moon if it's really cloudy at night, So certain variables can totally be thrown away if other variables are in play, like overcast conditions, really murky water doesn't allow the moonlight to penetrate. So again, might as well be a new moon.
Could change. Yeah.
So there's a lot of other things that happen too. So we are giving you the general rule of thumb, but you got to remember that fishing's fishing, right?
I wish I had $1 for every time in my career I begged a customer, we should not do this.
Mm-hmm.
We should not go fishing today. This is not going to be good. We just had a major cold front coming through. It's going to blow close to 20 miles an hour. The wind's out of the north. Everything that you could possibly have here that tells me it's going to be horrible is right here in front of us. Like, it's going to be bad. And the guy or gal would be like, listen, we're in our hotel room. If you don't take us fishing, we got nothing to do. I'd rather be on the water. We live in Michigan. It's, we have ice on the lake there. Just take
We're
us
used
fishing.
to it being terrible.
We'd rather be on the water than sitting in our hotel room doing nothing. So just take us. I'm like, okay, no problem. And then you get out there and the bite is stupid good. And the whole time they're reeling and looking back at you going, really? You didn't want to do this?
And vice versa. How many times have you gone out there and thinking, oh, we're going to get them today?
Yeah, we're going to
Look at this. Look at this water. It's teeming with life. We're going to crush it. And you go out there and you're just like, whoa.
Yeah, we're horrible.
What happened?
Right. Yeah, I'm going to take up golf.
Yeah, that's happened more often than I would like to admit.
Yeah, it's the reality of fishing. I mean, there's a science to it. There's no doubt about it. You can try to stack the deck in your favor, but it just doesn't always play out that way.
Yeah, it's kind of like gambling in my mind.
Really?
Yeah.
Except you're fishing. You can't really lose.
You can't lose.
You're fishing.
But you're having fun.
Well, that's true.
Same thing with gambling, You can have your little tricks and your techniques, but ultimately you're casting out there hoping to catch, hoping to hit that big jackpot, right?
777s, baby.
Yeah, exactly. It actually, ironically, on like a neurological standpoint, it's the same part of the brain that gets heated up.
Really?
Yeah, that light's on fire when we're out there fishing. It's the same part of the brain that if you're pulling the handle on the slot machine.
Really?
Yep.
No wonder I like it.
Mm-hmm.
I get it.
Gamblers.
We're
addicted.
Sports
So
betting.
don't go to the Hard Rock, guys, if you're a hardcore fisherman.
Football season.
Yeah.
Gambling.
Mm-hmm.
I like it.
Yeah, there you go. Sports betting.
We've got a Bartow Ford Real Animals Fishing conversation scheduled Tuesday, October 8th, 6 to 8 p.m.
And we're locked in.
We're locked in.
Captain Travis Thompson, myself, and you.
Yep. We're going to basically do a inshore and offshore and
everything.
An everything guy. Yeah. Travis Thompson does a little bit of everything. So
water quality, land management, turkeys, ducks, alligators, pythons.
Yeah.
Whatever you want to learn about, we'll have it.
We're going to have a pretty good group to cover it all there. Tuesday, October 8th, Bartow Ford, the Real Animals Fishing Conversation. You don't want to miss it. It's going to be a good one. I talked to Dana yesterday at Silver Ring Cafe. They are in, so we're going to have our Cubans.
So
and I know we're going to have all our killer grub. Man, she's been throwing in these dessert plates on these events every time. Yeah, these little bitty desserts that are just so good. So
I'm going to have to call ahead and ask for extra double crab. Just be like, Dana, put it on the side. Just put my name on it.
Right.
Let's keep it closed.
We love Silver Ring Cafe, so we're looking forward to that as well. Put it in your books. Tuesday, October 8th, 6 to 8 p.m. out at Bartow Ford. Phone lines are open here, 1-800-969-9352. Light them up. We'll be back.
Listening on the free iHeartRadio app. Thanks to Farah and Farah, it's never been easier to send your opinions directly to your...
Looking at it, which is all good.
I guess we're going to break.
Go to markspain.com to get a guaranteed offer on your home today and start packing. Every single find a plumber or electrician you can trust. The company is clean, honest, trustworthy, reasonably priced, and on time. Captain Mike Anderson here for Titan Plumbing and Electric. My friend Jojo is the owner, and I've known him and his family for over 15 years. And when Beth and I were getting work done on our home, he was the first person I called because trusting the people working on your home is everything. Call Titan Plumbing and Electric today, 813-933-87. Find out for yourself that thousands of customers already know. Titan Plumbing and
Tug is the drug.
Mm-hmm.
This summer, enjoy less sunscreen smell and more new car smell.
less sands up in between toes, and more put on pedal. Less suitcase packing, and more cargo space. Make room for more than just memories this summer with the Lexus SUV.
Oh, yeah.
Select SUVs at the Lexus Golden Opportunity Sales Event. But hurry, the opportunity ends September 3rd. Experience amazing at your Lexus dealer.
Looking for the Bay Area's premier family boating resource? Look no further than Pro Marine Performance Center. Located at 9293 Bay Pond Boulevard in St. Pete, they're online at ProMarineUSA.com. They sell new and used boats, including Seahawk, and specialize in repowers, allowing young high markers to keep you on the water. Warehouse financing is your money for whether it's first-time buyers or seasoned skippers. Let my friends at Pro Marine Performance Center your boating needs. 6a-8a company. Noisy fans feel like the only way to stay cool? Too excited with the best deal of the year from ABC. Buy your AC and get your air handler free. Visit abcnews.com.
Hi, I'm Benny Jr. with Bartow Ford. Everyone has heard me speak about going the wrong way. But let me be clear, the wrong way means the wrong way of doing business. This includes gimmicks, games, and unfulfilled promises. Tactics you will never ever find at Bartow Ford. For over 73 years, we've been doing business the right way. So on your next purchase, don't go the wrong way. Come to Bartow Ford and see why we're different, and we prove it. Did you know your life insurance is an asset you can sell? I'm Jay Jackson, CEO of
Saltwater pool. Yeah, saltwater pools are awesome.
purchasing life insurance policies from seniors.
William Keane said you could get a pool or you could repool. That's funny.
Get real value from your life insurance when you need it with Abacus. Learn more at abacusdays.com.
I don't like onions. I'm doing paleo. Do they have gluten-free bagels? You can't tackle every food request called work event, or can you? Easy Cater is the all-in-one platform that makes it easy to get restaurant catering for work, with options for any group size, taste, dietary preference, or budget. Easy Cater saves your favorite restaurants and orders, which makes reordering a snap. Need to modify an order? No problem.
Greetings,
Food
animals.
food for work, make it easier to help with Easy Cater. Start your order at easycater.com.
Between the lines or beyond.
Bro, we had to make a new website page. We're up to 20 now.
Really?
Yeah. Isn't that awesome?
You're next.
Mike Anderson and Dylan Hubbard.
Welcome back. Phone lines are open here. 1-800-969-9352. Remember, if you're looking for a shingle, metal tile, or a flat roof, remember our friends at Affordable Roofing Systems. They're the safest choice for repairs or replacements. Over 3 decades of roofing experience. Let Affordable Roofing Systems guide you through this important process. Again, D-Hubs, Captain Big Ben Marshall, both customers of Affordable Roofing Systems. Both had a great experience. You need to give them a call today at 1-888-397-ROOF for your free estimate, or visit them online at affordableroofingflorida.com. Let's go to the phones here real quick before we get to the bottom of the hour. Let's check in with Donald in Lutz. Donald, how are you this morning?
I'm doing great. Welcome back, Michael.
Thanks,
How you
buddy.
been?
I'm good, man. I'm real good. Appreciate you. What's going on, kid?
I'm just pulled into State Harbor Boat.
Oh, nice.
Getting after it.
You're by Barfly.
I am. I'm right
Yeah.
across the street. Just past it. I'm pulling into the parking spot right now.
Yes.
Got
If you can
kayak.
hear my voice and you're anywhere near Safety Harbor, you should go to Barfly.
It was funny. I met somebody
So good.
and they were like, "Oh yeah, I'm from downtown Safety Harbor area." I was like, "Oh, have you been to Barfly?"
They were like, of course I've been.
They were like, "Yeah, I know exactly where that is."
Exactly. So good. Food is so good. They have real animals catch lager as
There you
well. Yes. It's a regular. there.
Seamless transition.
Yes, you like that?
Mm-hmm.
Ba-dum-tsh.
Radio Pro.
Here we We got about 10 of us for my club. Going to do some fishing out here, and I already see people have already shown up.
Nice.
So, which is cool.
Yeah, that's great. That's good.
Yeah, hot dogs and hamburgers.
That's right.
Showing up.
That's right.
And
Yeah,
barfly.
got cheeseburgers. Yep, go get a beer afterwards.
Oh, perfect Saturday.
Mike's on his way.
Yeah, perfect. Except for the kayaking part.
They make motorized kayaks. Don't worry.
I want to be able to put that 300 Yamaha on the back of it. If once they give me one that does that, I'm in. With a steering wheel, that'd be bad.
You have a micro skiff. You're on your way to a kayak.
I am. You're right. You're right.
Yep. Yeah, that's a cool little boat that you got there. I saw pictures of that. That is cool.
Thank you. I love my.
yeah,
I love
It's
my
Mike's
KO.
version of a kayak. When he's in it, it looks like a kayak.
My 18 KO. I love that thing. Such a cool boat. Cool boat.
Absolutely. But yeah, my kayak will do 5 miles an hour, so that's good enough for me.
There you go. Safe. Nice and safe. Well,
That's
catch him up. I'm anxious to get a report tomorrow. I'm anxious to hear what that water looks like up there. So that'll be
Yeah,
interesting.
me too. Yeah, I'm curious to see what it's going to be like. So I've got I'm going to throw some dead baits, dead stick, which I normally don't do, but I'm going to do that because I hear the water is murky and throwing artificials might be a little bit tougher this time. So,
Yeah.
but I have them with me, of course. So I'll do both. So we'll see what happens.
I'm laughing because I found out you could still artificial fish like that with using gulps.
Yes.
I feel like that's not artificial fishing at
Why?
that point. If you're casting out and
artificial
letting the
bait.
lure sit there,
Let me ask you this. And
I think we're going to have to agree to disagree.
no, but maybe you've never.
You're
listen,
a professional red fisherman, so I'm not going to argue with you.
No, but what
this
I'm
isn't
saying
my
is
ball game.
What I'm
but
saying
I'm just
is
saying.
no, but what I'm saying is, and Ben Marshall's a perfect example. Ben Marshall caught one of the biggest redfish ever caught in the state of Florida in a redfish tournament.
Yeah,
He had stopped moving his bait.
yeah.
It was just a regular Berkeley jerk bait. It was sitting on the bottom, and it picked it up and ate it. Does that not count?
Yeah, I mean, I hear what you're saying. And the same thing has happened with slow pitch jigs. There was a guy who didn't know how to slow pitch jig, and he dropped it down and just let it sit on the bottom, ended up catching the biggest red grouper of the day.
Really?
And I was like,
That's
I don't
impressive.
know if that counts. I was frustrated. So
Okay.
I
all right,
see it,
fair
but
enough.
it just I
get the confusion.
I don't understand it.
All good. All right. Well, listen, Donald, good luck out there, brother. Give us a report tomorrow. Let us know how it is up that way.
Absolutely. You guys take care. Stay safe and tight lines, everyone.
All right, partner.
See you, buddy.
Good stuff. Go to Barfly. That's what I would do.
Yeah, that was the takeaway I got.
Yes. Go to Barfly. They have incredible seafood and Coppertail Brewing's Real Animals Catch Lager.
There you go.
Ice cold. It's a beautiful thing.
And they have AC.
Jeff Harrell's a great guy.
After
too.
all day in a kayak, you need AC.
Jeff Harrell and his family are just great people, so that's why we always plug that place.
And they have
'cause
great food.
They're fishy, too. He is a skiff.
Mm-hmm.
He's a micro skiff
I
as well.
see how you tied that in there again.
1-800-969-9352. Captain Van Hubbard down in Charlotte Harbor. We'll get a report from him and hopefully hear from you as well on the other side. We'll be back, 970 WFLA.
The local Lexus dealers WFLA News Desk.
Yeah, there was a lot of controversy around golf when it first hit the Strasser.
Yeah.
And, truth be told, I've caught a lot of redfish, especially on the docks, taking a new penny gulp shrimp and working it. So, I don't know what they think it is exactly. It's not the sexiest artificial shrimp I've ever seen, but it works.
Yeah, I don't know about. I think I would say like almost 70% of the artificial lure business are made to catch fishermen, not fish.
Oh, 100%.
If not 80%.
100%. Dude, if you think about, we talk about it at the seminars all the time.
Mm-hmm.
You know, what's your favorite color? If you go back to your granddad's tackle box,
Yeah, there was like
two
4 colors.
Yeah, two to 4 colors in there.
Root beer, chartreuse, white, redhead.
Exactly. That was pretty much it. There might have been some green in there.
Yeah.
You know. And now there's 8 gazillion colors of everything.
to be mindful if you're in that area. I-4 and
Yeah.
I-75, though, pulling up to speed in all
They definitely
directions and
overcomplicate
reporting
things.
collision-free.
Agreed.
This report is sponsored by Audible. Heavy traffic? Why not escape the traffic with Audible? Immerse yourself in new world stories and ideas with an incredible selection of audiobooks, podcasts, and originals. There's more to imagine when you listen. Sign up for a free trial at
Ronnie Bill says.
audible.com.
Now it's how shiny is your worm and how you wiggle it.
Mhm.
It's possible this weekend. The big
That's
story is that
hysterical.
dry air. It is in place and here to stay really for the next 48 hours. We got a hot afternoon ahead. Temperatures will be in the mid-90s with that low humidity.
You stock a saltwater pool. Save some gas money. It's a great question.
When we were growing up, we would always take like mullet or pinfish and throw them in the pool, chase them around, and they slow down, and then you're able to catch them.
Really?
And you toss them back, and they seemingly swam away, but
Right, probably not.
yeah, I don't know. Probably killed a lot of mullet. But it was nothing better because I had 3 sisters, you know. Nothing better than a pool full of girls and I'm out there on the dock fishing and just take a bucket of mullet and dump them in the pool. It was always fun. I wonder if they would live in this saltwater pool. That's an interesting question. We'd have to ask Tommy and
I was going to
Stacey.
say we should ask them. We'll get them on the show. That's a good idea. We should have them on the show at some point.
Going on now through September 3rd. Learn more. MBUSA.com/dream.
It's a good idea.
I'm Katie from Long Bath. For decades, we've helped families just like yours bring beauty, value, and safety to their homes. Whether your bathroom is outdated or lacks the features you need, we're ready to help you get the bath or shower that's perfect for you. And we'll get it done the right way, the long way. Right now,
Dude, I started this new thing. Have you heard of Dr. Mike Israetel? He's this interesting guy. He's a bodybuilder, but he's also like mainly a scientist. His wife is a doctor as well, and he takes like a really scientific approach to everything. He has a podcast and he's big on Instagram. Really interesting character and pretty funny. But he has this app. It's called Renaissance Periodization Hypertrophy. So it's RP hypertrophy, and it's all about stimulating muscles and then pushing hypertrophy by pushing yourself each week by either adding a rep or adding a little bit of weight. So that way you're progressing, and then you hit a deload. Have you ever heard of deloading? See, I had never heard of it either, and I got talked into doing it. I was like, this is stupid. I hate it. It's the dumbest thing ever. But dude, it helped a lot because when you're pushing yourself really, really hard, your muscles can grow faster than your tendons. So you have to go through this deload period in your cycle of exercises. And so when you're building up, you deload, and then you're able to build up even higher. So it helps you to step up to that next step. But you're doing like half of the weight, half the reps that you normally would for a whole week. So it's almost like you take a week off, but you don't. And you focus more on that mind-muscle connection with lighter weight. I ended up getting pretty darn good workouts.
Dude, I'm telling you, I did 315 for like 10 reps, no spot. This was 20 years ago. Ian Harrison, the big bodybuilder friend of mine who was top 10 in the world, you know, Mr. Olympia stage, all that crap. He was training in there. And one of the other big dudes was like, hey, you see Big Mike just throwing around that 315? Without even looking at me, just walked right by and was like, I'd be more impressed if he did 225 20 times.
Yeah.
And we're talking about a world-class bodybuilder with photos on Flex magazine of 120-pound dumbbells, you know what I mean? And he was just like, I mean, because that's great, you know, but...
Yeah, and that's just showing muscular endurance too, but you can build muscle that way, but you're doing muscle and lean muscle that way, right?
Rodney Burton, who was Mistress Florida that trained Beth when she first got into it, he's big on that.
Yeah.
Like, not so much 2 body parts, 30 minutes, done.
Yeah, and that's how this is.
Exhaustion.
It's all about training your whole body twice a week.
Yeah.
But it's smaller volumes, but you're going for more stimulation. I can't speak this morning, Jesus. But yeah, it's really interesting. But long story short, like I'm doing back, thighs, shoulders, everything one day, and then chest tries, everything, and then legs, and then you repeat.
Welcome back. 636 here at the iHeart Media Empire, the Bartow Ford Real Animals Radio Show. You know, if you haven't tried it yet, shame on you. The world's first self-sharpening knife. It sharpens as it cuts. Absolutely ridiculous. Relentless, perpetual edge knives. Ultra-hard carbide, never rust titanium blades. True grit glass reinforced ABS handles on a knife that is perfectly balanced. Comes in 5 great models to choose from right now, with more models coming. They've actually brought out some stiffer blades already and some stuff like that based on the feedback they're getting. One of the things I love about this company is that they're kind of evolving on the move here. Incredible blade technology with a great group of people behind them. Go to relentlessknivesusa.com. Find out for yourself why this is the knife all the pros are talking about. Let's go to the phone lines here. If you want to join us, phone lines are open. 1-800-969-9352. Very interested to talk with this chap today because we've been getting some reports of maybe some possible bad water in Charlotte Harbor. Let's check in with the great Captain Van Hubbard and see if he's hearing or seeing anything that way. How are you this morning, Captain?
I'm doing good, boys. I'm doing good. Hope everything's going well with y'all, and it's nice to be healthy.
Amen, brother.
Amen.
No doubt.
Every day above ground.
Yeah. What's going on down that way? I guess we got some unnerving news. There might have been some bad water down there yesterday.
I've heard about some fish dying down around Matlacha. Don't know for sure what it is. We've got hot water. We got a lot of algae in the water. You had a lot of sewage releases north of us. Manatee County was the worst with 3.5 million gallons.
Gotta love Manatee County.
Every time we have a rain event, we have problems. St. Pete and Hillsborough, everybody dumps a little bit. I haven't heard anything bad down here, though.
Okay.
It's a good news, bad news thing, kind of. The water quality is definitely it's okay. Around the passes toward high water, you're starting to get a little greenish water again. We had a lot of runoff, so there's still a lot of brown water around. And brown water's not bad water. You're spoiled getting to sight fish for so long, but brown water is healthy water, and the fish have a prettier color. So a lot of bait fish showing up, little tiny stuff again, a whole new hatch, but some white bait, some thread fins. And, I hear rumors even a few tarpon still around. So there's the least boats you're ever going to see out here, I think, because it's really quiet right now. Everybody's getting back in school and all that. But definitely some good fishing, and offshore there's been plenty of snapper.
Good.
Amen.
Yeah, when I talked to Captain Ozzie Fisher down there out of South Seas on Resort, he was telling me that basically the flats were really, really dead. But he was having a great bite in the passes. The fish had concentrated in the passes, so that made the fish in there really, really good. But up on the flats, there wasn't a lot going on. He had run a group trip with Danny Latham and them up there towards Matlacha somewhere. I don't know if it was towards Burnt Store or where exactly on that shoreline up there, but he said there was a lot of life, lots of fish caught. They thought it was pretty decent. He didn't see any fish kills, so hopefully, it's in a small area because we got it from pretty reliable source, but hopefully it was just in a small area and it's not
contained.
Yeah, contained. Good word.
Yeah.
We just obviously whenever you're talking fish kills, it makes everybody nervous. So
especially down there in Charlotte Harbor, because I feel like Charlotte Harbor is a canary in the coal mine. It always seemingly begins. The embers start in Charlotte Harbor, and then they kind of spread north.
That's true.
That's seemingly how it's been, at least in the last 10 years. Almost every time that I've watched it, it always kind of starts down there and rolls north.
Yeah.
So
let's hope there's no.
Here's what I heard about that Matlacha fish kill, though. When we have a rain event, we have a lot of mosquitoes, and I heard they were spraying over the water and that's what got those fish down there. I don't know if that's accurate or not, but that's what I heard from one of the local fishermen down there.
All right. Well, let's hope.
Not good, but that would be good news.
Better than the maybe better than the alternative, I guess.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, I don't know how you.
Let's
look
all
at,
scratch our heads on that one.
Yeah.
At least that doesn't grow and spread.
Right. That's
Amen.
true. Yeah, that's true.
Way to put a positive spin on it.
And with the rain we're having, maybe that'll dilute out pretty quick. You know, there's so much fresh water still coming out of the river systems that maybe that'll dilute out pretty quick, and we'll just have a small issue there. So,
yeah.
Good stuff. Good stuff. Good to hear your voice, my friend. Well done. Well said, as usual.
Have a great day, guys, and God continue to bless us all.
Amen, my friend. Thank you, brother. Great to hear your voice, man. Thank you, sir.
All right.
Good stuff right there. Well, that's good
Man,
news.
the myth, the legend.
Yeah, that's good news. I was hoping that we would not be in that. I'm
yet. Checking relentlessly FWC's websites. The maps don't show anything, but the to the untrained eye, you're like, oh, cool. But then when you dive into the data, there's about a 3-day delay.
Right.
So for it to show up on a map and actually start making headlines, it's going to be about 3 or 4 days old.
Yeah.
So that's why I always look back at the report data, and there's only 2 or 3 tests that were done on August 15th that are published. Most of the reports that are published on the map are all from August 14th, 3 days ago. So
that makes sense.
We'll see.
That makes sense. The Hubbard's team, everything looks good offshore. Not seeing anything crazy, because normally, sometimes we get that big disturbance starts offshore, and then we get unlucky and have a strong strain of west winds for
like we've had.
Yeah. And then, you know what I'm saying? So are you guys seeing
the
anything
organism,
offshore?
however you pronounce it, Canara bravis, or however everybody has a different enunciation, right, or pronunciation, but it starts offshore. It's naturally occurring. It's always in the surface of the Gulf of Mexico. So when we get these west winds, it's really concerning. And that's I did a news interview this past week twice on water quality and in the concerns with the sewage spills and stuff like that. And that's essentially my segment that they always seemingly pull out and put on the news, is the fact that when we have these west winds, that naturally occurring organism is blown to the coastline. And then all it needs is the presence of the algae, the food, and the right salinity level. Those are the 3 ingredients that make a bloom. And you have the presence of the algae because we had a west wind. You have the presence of food, tons of it, because we had so many sewage spills, dumps, just a lot of rain in general can bring plenty of food in from getting washed off the roads and stuff like that. And then you have the right salinity level because you've had so much rain. You have all these different pockets, garden beds, if you will, because you have different pockets of salinity levels all throughout our coastline. So you have the right salinity. You have the food. You have the presence of the algae. You have a powder keg. We've poured lighter fluid all over it. And now we're holding the match as close as we can get, wondering if it's going to blow up.
Now, it's always been my understanding, and maybe I'm wrong, that the algae part, the bad stuff that comes from offshore, is normally settled to the bottom. And what fires it off the worst is these disturbances like Debbie coming through the Gulf. That's what stirs it all up. And then when you get that west wind following it for a couple of weeks, and not that there wouldn't be some of that on the surface. Obviously, there's some of it mixed in the water column. I get that.
Exactly.
But the big issues are usually following these big storms.
Or disturbances in the offshore currents. Because offshore currents can cause upwellings.
That makes sense, too.
So upwellings can occur pretty close to shore, which can cause the same thing.
That
so
makes
either
sense.
big disturbances, big storms, high seas, high winds, disturbances in offshore currents, or just overall, sometimes that thermocline will overturn, and sometimes that bottom water will get pushed up to the surface.
That makes
so
sense.
you have a couple different things that can cause it.
That makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
Because I think a couple years ago we had the one really late storm. Didn't we have a late storm like in November?
Ian was late September, but yeah,
Didn't we have a late one in October or something?
Yeah.
A late storm.
Early November.
Then we had like late red tide when you just nobody had seen it because
a lot of people,
water temps
even
come
myself, were under the impression, I was under the impression for a long time, up until recently, I learned water temperature has nothing to do with it.
Right.
Water temperature has zero to do with red tide.
It just seems like we always get them in the summertime because that's when we have our big disturbances.
And we have more rain, which brings more food. But also, and more rain brings the right salinity levels. So rain is adding 2 of the 3 variables you need, right? Water temperature has nothing to do with it. It has to be 50 degrees. The water temperature has to be 50 degrees or less to prevent any sort of harmful algal bloom from red tide. And if the water temperature gets 50 degrees, we've got other problems.
A whole new problem.
Yeah.
A whole new problem to deal with.
Yeah.
No doubt.
So water temperature isn't a part of the conversation.
So most of your captains, nobody's seeing anything offshore that's got them alarmed. Lots of bait off.
Lots of bait. I mean, especially behind Debbie, like you said, all that bait went offshore. It did.
Yeah.
We were seeing it 10, 12, 14 miles. But now that bait's back. It's really come back into the Gandy area because we have our thumb on the pulse of that bigger bait a lot more than we normally do because we're out there catching a couple 100 pounds every few days for our boats because we're getting fresh dead bait now. And, that bait went back up to the Gandy pretty heavy. So that's where we're focused. And offshore has been awesome.
What bait are you finding there? Big thread fins?
Yeah, that's what we're after.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, we're getting a lot of silver mullet and other mixtures, but we don't take that on our boats just because silver mullet's a great bait. It would work really well offshore, but people are funny, right? They don't like change. So we're catching our own fresh dead bait now. So we have a guy going out, Brian, and he goes and gets huge numbers, 400, 500, 600 pounds of bait. We put it on the back of the boat in a brine barrel. And so when we go out in a 39 or 44 hour, we got fresh bait. It's awesome. But one of the trips, the thread fins were hard to find. So he brought in a bunch of, what's the big one that mullet or that tarpon fishermen like? I'm forgetting of them. Shad. He brought in a bunch of shad. And there was some silver mullet mixed in. Like, it was a great looking barrel. Everybody was pissed because it wasn't thread fins. It still worked well, but they were upset it wasn't thread fins. So we've learned our lesson, and we've kept to the thread fins.
No change for you.
Yeah. So he has been expanding. So if he gets stuff that isn't thread fins, he's selling it to other people.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting stuff. Want to put a shout out to our good friends at Ace Heating and Cooling. You know, this is not the time of year to have a problem with your AC unit, so maybe you give our good friends at Ace Heating and Cooling a call. They're a name you can trust in the heating and air conditioning business in Hillsborough County. Chris Myers and his guys service all brands. They do residential and commercial repairs, maintenance, and full replacements. They send out technicians, not salespeople, because they're not trying to sell you something you don't need. They're trying to build long-lasting customer relationships that hold up over time. Give them a call today at 813-657-8818 or look them up online at brandonac.net. Find out for yourself why Ace Heating and Cooling is the easy choice for the Real Animals Fishing team. Also got our new partner here, Innovative Pools and Spa, which we are going to talk more about here on the other side. Phone lines are open as well. Give us a call, 1-800-969-9352. Your questions, comments, fishing reports, bring them right here. Light them up. Let's talk fishing. We'll be back. Lithium batteries are lighter, longer lasting, and more powerful than ever. And if you're looking to make a change, check out today.
Oh, yeah? I thought you had like a championship or something like that.
That was last weekend, was the states, the over 50 states.
Did you guys win?
Yes.
Nice.
Yeah, we get rings out of it.
So you won the state championship?
Yeah.
Oh, that's
over
cool.
50 USSA states. There's other organizations too. There's other associations.
So now do you play like the other associations now that you have the best in yours?
No, I mean, it would be cool if it worked that way, but most of the associations don't play together nicely. There's, ISSA, there's all kinds of associations. USSA, the complex is unbelievable, bro.
Yeah, I saw the video you did.
It was stadium. Cool. We didn't play in the stadium. The Major Plus guys, they played in a stadium. Looks like a minor league baseball park. It's unbelievable.
Wow.
Full stadium all the way around. Seating all the way around. It's crazy. all turf fields. Mark Mahoney.
Yeah. He said over 50 means super juiced bats.
It does. You're right. You're just jealous, Mark. You're just jealous.
And it's slow pitch too, right?
Yep.
I feel like you're just hitting bombs.
Like,
Yeah, it's harder than what you think.
Yeah.
The pitching's good too.
yeah,
I mean, they don't go here. Let me put it up here 4 feet. They'll tie. Just see how far you can hit it. You know, they throw it in, they throw it out, they throw it high, they throw it short.
yeah.
It's harder than what people think, for sure.
No,
You
yeah.
get a lot
I
of those.
I played one game of softball. I'm pretty experienced.
You get a lot of
We had that softball team, and it was Monday nights, and it was just hard for me to make it the night it was going on. But one day they did it a little earlier, and they needed help, so I went and showed up. I had a pretty good one.
Did you? I'll bet.
Yeah,
You're a big guy.
but most of the time I was just they kept saying, "Oh, just hit it," but I just let them pitch to me because every time they walked me, the pitching was not that great.
Right.
So if I just let them pitch to me, it would most of the time get on base.
Normally, what happens, at least for the most part, especially with the upper level teams, AAA, major plus, if you're still playing in your 50s, there's
You're
probably a
pretty darn
chance
good.
you weren't too bad in your
Yeah.
20s and 30s. It's usually what you find. So the guys are still pretty competitive and still fairly decent. Nobody can really. I mean, there's a few guys that can run, but can't run like they used to run. So
Yeah.
you get away with some stuff you couldn't get away with years ago. It was funny because during our state tournament, the kids were playing.
Mm-hmm.
So you're watching, well, we play after this game. So you go over there and wait, and you're watching kids in their 30s.
Mm-hmm.
You're like, wow.
They're diving.
Yeah.
sprinting.
Yeah, I'm like, for us, that's a hit all day because no one's getting to that. You know? But
That's funny.
I'm afraid to quit playing because then I think you just,
Dude, if you don't use it, you lose it.
yeah, for sure. I've got next month. I'm not here on the 13th. I'm on the 14th and 15th,
Well, remind me again after this so I can
Yeah.
put it in my calendar.
and then I leave for the military worlds up in Augusta, Georgia.
Oh, cool.
Welcome back, 653 here here at the iHeart Media Empire. Again, told you we're going to talk a little bit about our new partner, Innovative Pools and Spa. Very excited to have Stacy and Tommy on board. They've been a go-to pool and spa builder in Tampa Bay with over 10,000 pools to their name. Their second-generation family business is built on quality and trust, using extra rebar, more concrete, cutting-edge equipment to make sure your pool is built to last. They design pools to fit your family's lifestyle and handle every project with integrity from start to finish. Right now, they're offering an end-of-summer discount of $5,000. That's incredible, actually.
Yeah, right.
Call them today at 727-405-2994. Visit innovativepoolsandspa.net for an estimate. See why Innovative Pools and Spa is the top choice for families in our community. Over 10,000 pools to their name.
It's a lot of pools.
That's incredible.
And they're family owned and operated.
I like that.
Did I have that in there?
No,
I think
but
so. Maybe I need to add that.
yeah, Stacy and Tommy. I
Family
like it.
owned and operated.
Yeah, we're looking forward to getting them in here again. I don't know if you're thinking about a pool, if you're thinking or wondering, will I use it? Won't I use it? Whatever. I've heard a lot of people say, hey, we put a pool in, and while the kids were here, we used it. Now we don't use it. Beth and I use our pool all the time. As a matter of fact, because Beth is a paralegal, she works in the office. A lot of times she's like, if your naughty head wants to go to the gym, you go to the gym. I'm going to the pool because I've been inside all week. You've been on the boat. So
Yeah.
I want to be outside. So, which
The pool's a great workout. It's great. It's great rehab.
I
It's
love.
everything.
I love the pool.
Yeah.
We just love our pool. So
Especially if you have kids in or adjacent to your life, it's a great way to trick them to come over.
well, the other thing too,
My in-laws keep their pool real nice.
part of the
great.
part of the reason that we really wanted the pool was because we wanted to be Beth. We call it the Kool-Aid house.
Mm-hmm.
We wanted to have the house where, Georgia and her friends.
Everybody's drinking the Kool-Aid.
Yeah, Georgia and her friends would end up at our house hanging out instead of her always wanting to be at her friend's house because they had a pool.
Mm-hmm.
But it's something that, again, Beth and I,
cool
we have
parents.
really turned into is something that we love. And it was funny because just last night, Beth was like relaxing in the pool going, I love our pool. I'm like, I get it. So it's money well spent. So super excited to have them on board. I think it's very cool. I think having another family-owned business as a partner of Real Animals is really important. Again, 10,000 pools to their name tells you everything you need to know. They've been doing it a long time, over 35 years in business. In this economy, in this market, to be able to withstand all the stuff they've had to withstand for the last 35 years, super impressive. So again, 727-405-2994. Visit innovativepoolsandspa.net for a free estimate.
There you go.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to getting them in here. I'd like to pick their brain a little bit.
Fishy family.
I got pool questions.
Does a saltwater pool hold fish? That's always been a dream of mine. Like, even as a young kid.
Such a great question.
Like, just not building a pool, not building a pond, but like a crossover. Something you can like swim in, fish in. It'd be dope.
Yeah, I'm telling you, I'm kind of blown away. When you said it, I thought, I hadn't thought about that.
Yeah, like a coral reef. You got like a little grouper on one side. It'd be so cool.
Yeah.
Come home every day and bring like a bag of greenbacks and then jump in and just snorkel around. Let's see if we can make this happen.
I bet we could.
I'm getting fired up again.
You got a bait guy.
Yeah, exactly.
We got a bait guy. Let's meet at the Anderson household for cold Real Animals Catch lager and a science project.
Pour it right in my snorkel.
Do a little science project at the Anderson pool.
Let's see if we can make this happen.
I think Beth would not be happy if she came home and you and I had the pool full of critters.
I could see her face now.
We would not be in a good place, I don't think. I do not think that would go over big, no.
Yeah.
Yeah, not so much.
I wouldn't be allowed back over.
No, probably not. Good stuff.
You can't have friends over anymore.
Yeah. No. You're not allowed to play with Dylan anymore. He's apparently a bad influence on you. And you know what the good part is on that one? It would all be you.
The roles would be reversed.
This is Dylan's idea,
Yeah.
right? Yeah, you were the bad influence for a change. It's perfect.
I don't like that.
I do, actually. I'm sure the listeners needed some of that.
Yeah.
Because you're always trying to make me out to be the bad guy.
Whoa. Nah, you do that all by yourself, big boy.
Whatever.
Yeah, I have nothing to do with your bad influence. Speaking of influence and all that good stuff.
Speaking of.
Yeah, I'm going to try to be a good influence. I'm going to Biloxi next week for a golf council meeting.
Oh, good.
Hopefully hearing some news about Red Grouper. Our Wave 3 data should be QA/QC'd, so hoping to hear about that. The data collection program for charter boats going to be working hard on that. They seated new council members, so we've got some good new blood around the table. So that should be interesting to see how that shakes out as well. So
good stuff.
Good stuff coming up next week.
Got our safe boating tip of the week here on the other side. Captain Jim Fogel's on hold. Hopefully we'll hear from you as well. 1-800-969-9352. Questions, comments, fishing reports. Bring them right here. We'll be back. The Bartow Forward Real Animals Radio Show.
The preceding program was paid for by Real Animals Fishing.
A little softer transition. Soften it up. So Angel, you're asking about the Skyway petition. Again, haven't gotten any real information about any validity behind anything from DEP or DOT or FWC about closing the Skyway. The only people I hear talking about it are the misfits, and they're circulating that petition, which is good. Kind of preventative measures, right? Showing support for it. So definitely agree that it's an important petition. I signed it and definitely would love to see more people sign it just as a preventative measure to show support for it. But do I think there's a really big threat of it closing? I don't see it in the near term. I don't see anybody working towards it or talking about it. I was actually invited to a Hooked Pelican Working Group meeting, which is something the FWC stood up probably 3 years ago, was this Hooked Pelican Working Group. And myself and Travis are both members on that working group. And we actually got invited to a meeting. So they're ironically randomly calling for a meeting, but very clearly in the meeting agenda said this is not directed at the Skyway. This is statewide, trying to come up with ways to better outreach on hooked pelicans and what we can do to avoid hooking seabirds, and if seabirds are hooked, how we can better outreach the education on what to do, how to react, all that good stuff. It was mainly focused on boat ramps and areas where fish cutting tables are. So very clearly, multiple times in the meeting invite, it's stated that it's not Skyway specific. So I feel strongly that if there was some kind of big push to close the Skyway right now, if the Hooked Pelican Working Group was meeting, we'd be talking about the Skyway and that potential closure, because that Hooked Pelican Working Group is made up of industry, advocacy, NGOs, environmentalists, pelican people. So we'll all be at the table together talking about this issue. So I feel strongly that if there was something on the table to discuss closing the Skyway, it would be discussed in that meeting. So I don't know. Very interesting. But yeah, there's rumors. The Skyway Misfits are saying that there's rumors that someone at DEP is talking about closing the Skyway. So they're circulating a petition, and they're trying to get us to push the petition. But I've been asking, hey, before I push this out, can you give me any information on who's pushing it? Can you point me in the right direction? And I just haven't heard anything back. So kind of waiting to hear. Yes, Ronnie, ironically, the Golf Council meeting is happening in Biloxi, Mississippi at a casino. The Golden Nugget Casino.
Really?
Yeah. They always have it in Biloxi at one of the casinos.
I'll be in Louisiana at the same time.
Oh, there you go. I'll race you up I-75.
Monday morning?
Monday morning, yeah. 7 a.m.
Yeah.
Huh?
We'll leave at 6.
You got the boat behind you? Then I'll catch you.
Yeah, oh yeah, you will. I won't be driving all that fast.
Yeah, that's funny. That's ironic. My father-in-law is also heading up to Mobile.
Oh yeah?
Yeah.
Wow.
We'll all be on the interstate together.
Yeah. Let's hope let's pray for clean sailing.
Yeah, right. Yeah, I'll probably be leaving at 7. I'm gonna wake up and work out before I drive. I don't have to really be there till Tuesday morning.
Well, you gain an hour going that way, so I could leave at 7. That might be what I do. I forgot about that. That put me in around 6 or so.
Yeah. You gain an hour going that way, but you lose it coming back. Sucks. The drive back always sucks.
12 hours is terrible too. My sciatic's already grouchy.
Yeah.
I'm gonna drive for 24 hours next week. Stupid. But it's Louisiana. The only bad part is backside of the full moon.
Is this for a show?
I'm gonna try to get 2. Hopefully we get at least 1, but try to get 2.
Have you ever done an offshore show out of there?
I have. Yeah, with the Pro Marine guys.
Oh, yeah. Oh, I remember that story.
Several times with the Pro Marine guys. They're great fishing. I really need to go do another one. I just got to find the right contender guy out there, so I'll have to tone to 32 out there.
I'd probably ask around for you.
Yeah,
a lot of guys down there.
Yeah, see if there's somebody who's really good that might be interested.
One of our board members, Jamie Gaspar, is out of Venice.
I had 6 million views on Waypoint 1 from July to July, so that's pretty good.
6 million, that's crazy.
Yeah, it's crazy. Huh? That's just on one platform, too.
They're an hour behind, so it's only 6 o'clock. Oh, he's a fisherman. He's awake.
Saturday's probably not.
No, he is. It's red snapper season.
Oh, yeah, he's on water, right?
Looking for the Bay Area's premier family boating resource? Look no further than Pro Marine Performance Center. Located at 9293 Bay Pines Boulevard in St. Pete and online at ProMarineUSA.com. They sell new and used boats, including Seahunt, that specialize in repowers, and are a Yamaha and Mercury certified warranty center with over 1 million parts in stock to keep you on the water. They have in-house financing and truly make buying a boat an enjoyable experience. Whether you're a first-time buyer or seasoned skipper, let my friends at Pro Marine Performance Center
handle all your boating needs. The following is a commercial program paid for by Real Animals Fishing. The opinions, viewpoints, and promises made during the following program are not those of WFLA AM, its staff, management, or parent company, iHeartMedia Incorporated.
Mike Anderson and Captain Dylan Hubbard.
Welcome back. 7:06 here at the iHeart Media Empire, rolling into hour number 2. We certainly appreciate you joining us this morning. Captain Mike Anderson, Captain Dylan Hubbard here, the Bartow Ford Real Animals Radio Show. We've got our newly named Innovative Pools and Spa Safe Boating Tip of the Week. Everybody wants to sponsor a segment with the great Captain Jim Fogel in it. I mean, that's what it is.
Legendary.
You would think that we would be some kind of draw, but we're not. They're always like, we want to sponsor
We want that safe boating tip.
Yeah, we want that sexy, Coast Guard auxiliary captain spot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Such a strong adjective.
Wait till they put another pool in my backyard.
Exactly. How are you, my friend?
I'm so far so good, my man.
Good.
So far so good. The two of you sound pretty good there together.
Appreciate it. We're trying to. We're working
back in
on it.
action.
Yeah. I want to talk about radios again today. I know we've talked about it before, but it's so important that someone beside the captain be able to operate the radio. Yesterday, Coast Guard had to rescue a person that had a heart attack offshore. And, it just brings to mind, what if that was the captain? What if that was the charter captain by himself or with a new crew or something like that? Somebody has got to be able to operate that radio. I mean, even if you're inshore and you have a handheld radio, I mean, how many people can just pick up the radio and look at it and tell that the little button on the side of the radio is the one to push to talk on? How many people know that after they push the button and talk, they've got to let up on the button that goes, whether it's a microphone or whether it's a handheld? Only one person can talk at a time, so you really need to listen before you talk. But if nobody else has operated that radio, somebody needs to do it. And it's not good practice to wait till you absolutely need it to be
right.
Trying to tell them or trying to show them how to operate it. You should remind them that they should not yell into the radio. And if they get in trouble or you guys get in trouble, you need to be able to identify your boat. So what we recommend is that you just print a little label with the name of your boat, the type, and the size. Okay, this is wired. It's a 24-foot Everglades. So when they talk to the Coast Guard or somebody else about a problem, they'll be able to identify your boat.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The Coast Guard Auxiliary has nice little stickers you can put by your radio.
Yes, we do. They're very, very easy to read, and they last a long time. But you still need to put the name of the boat and the type of the boat on there somewhere, so they'll know whether you're in a 400-foot freighter or a 40-foot Intrepid.
Right. Makes sense.
Be sure they know. Go ahead, Mike.
No, it just makes almost too much sense.
That's why it gets forgotten about, right?
Yeah.
If it makes that much sense, it's easy to forget.
Just don't pay attention to it.
Yeah. Take it for granted.
Be sure whoever's going to call for help, everybody needs to know how to find the latitude and longitude. You know that, I'm about 30 miles off of the Don Cesar. I ain't going to get it.
Right.
And a lot of times, guys do not have the lat long showing on the screen. They might have just using the chart plotter, and so it's only showing the depth and the temperature and the speed. And they need to know how to push a button. Usually it's mark or set, and it'll pop up, or I'm even man overboard, and it'll tell you what the latitude and longitude is. But when you call for help, when someone calls for help, the most important thing is getting the name of the vessel out there, and telling them where you are immediately. Even if you can't hear them talking back to you, that doesn't mean they don't hear you, okay?
Right.
The Coast Guard can hear vessels from a further distance than they can transmit to them. So just make sure you get that information out. Talk slowly, get the name of your vessel, get the location of your vessel and what the problem is out there. Broadcast that frequently, even if you're not getting any response. Because, the Good Samaritans might hear you even if the Coast Guard doesn't.
Right. Get help from another vessel out there.
Yep.
Yeah.
Always good.
Yeah. Smart.
And lots of times they're going to be closer than the Coast Guard is anyway.
Right.
So you want to make sure, and all of us
Kind of like the reason you carry a gun.
Right.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. But we need to, we just need to help everybody out. So, of course, if we're sitting out there fishing and we hear a vessel in distress, we want to be quiet, be calm, and listen to what the problem is and see if somebody answers. If the Coast Guard doesn't answer, then after a few calls from another boat that don't get answered, maybe we need to pop in and act as a relay.
Right.
That's what happened the time my buddy and I sunk out in the bay there. A Good Samaritan, we couldn't get the Coast Guard on the first couple of calls because we were on a handheld and we're practically in the water. And a Good Samaritan heard us when I just put out any vessel. We need help. And that's how the Coast Guard got in contact with us.
Oh.
So anyway, guys, we want to do this before we leave the dock. If we practice this all the time, if we do the radio check before they leave the dock, or before we leave the dock, we'll be a lot better off.
No doubt.
Smart thinking.
Should practice all your safety, routines before you get out there. Think about that stuff before it's too late.
Be prepared, not scared.
Yeah, exactly.
Exactly.
No
Perfect.
doubt about it.
Perfect.
Good stuff.
All right, boys. Thanks again for the Coast Guard Auxiliary in St. Pete. It's Jim Fogle. Be safe out there.
Thanks, Jimmy. Good stuff right there. Safe boating tip of the week brought to you by Innovative Pools and Spa. Go to innovativepoolsandspa.net for your free estimate. See why Innovative Pools and Spa is the top choice for families in our community. 10,000 pools to their name.
Over 35 years as a family-owned and operated business.
That's impressive.
Awesome stuff.
Yeah, it's really good stuff. We just, that safety stuff, man, leaving a trip plan, your
flow plan.
Thank you, flow plan. That was the word I was looking for. Leaving that flow plan, the stuff, you just don't always think about it. And it's stuff you really should put out there.
Checking your high water alarms, checking your float switches, making sure you have the right kind of chokes for your seacocks, all good things that can easily get overlooked or forgotten about or taken for granted.
Well, and what you don't think about is, you're just used to putting your boat in the water and everything working and everything being fine. Being a charter captain, I was guilty of it, just, running out, catching bait every day, just running out, catch bait, come back to the marina, pick up your people. You get in this habit and everything's good. And
what's always interesting to me is whenever there's some sort of big emergency or death at sea or big tragic event, there's always post-investigation, there's always a litany of small things that have added up. And as those small things happened, the dominoes started to fall.
Right.
And once those dominoes start to fall, especially offshore, there's nothing you could do about it.
So, offshore changes the game significantly. But even inshore, like Jim said, him and a buddy were in the bay. Their boat sank right inside the bay. And it happened quick, really quick. For me, I was out, went and caught bait, normal morning. Bait was super easy. Got the huge live well leaning post, choked full of water, choked full of bait. I'm headed back in, and my boat started to porpoise funny. And I really just didn't think anything of it. I'm like, it was so calm that morning. I thought, maybe it's just, I don't know where that came from. So I literally just hit my trim tabs just a little bit. The boat leveled out. When I came around the corner, this was before the manatee zones and all that. So you kind of came in there towards O'Neill's a little bit hot, and when you got in front of the marina, you just set it down. When I set that boat down, I was like, whoa, what just happened? Like, because I had picked up so much weight. So what had happened is my water pickup for my live well had snapped inside. So instead of filling my live well with water, it was now filling my hull with water as I was running. So luckily, by the grace of God, there was a guy standing on the back seawall there, right where my boat is now parked at O'Neill's. This was before we were all parked out there. And he looked at me, and he could just see terror in my eyes. He was like, "Is everything okay? You need something?" I literally threw him the keys to my F-250. I said, "Dude, I'm sinking. I need my boat, my truck backed into the water with the trailer right now. It's wrapped. You can't miss it." He took off running from the back, went and got my truck. A guy was coming to back down. He yelled at him and stopped him. I literally came around the corner and slid it up on the trailer.
Wow.
And it took like an hour and a half to get the water out of my boat.
Wow.
I mean, so it can happen so quickly. And again, had I
not been pulling into the marina, not had the guy on the seawall,
it wasn't weird. It's not something that I haven't done many times where I've caught bait pretty easy, and then I went, "Hey, I'm going to go take a look at this. I'm thinking about fishing here this morning. I'm going to go take a look at this shoreline. Are the mullet there? Are the birds there?" Sometimes you get bait, and then you go farther and clean your boat, and then you go, check out some shorelines, check out some activity in a few places. Had I done any of that we'd have had a little artificial reef somewhere. We'd have lost her. So, I mean, it's just really weird how fast it can happen. Quick. Not a great feeling in the old belly when your hull is full. I literally opened a hatch and went, "Well, that is not good."
Yeah, that's an importance of a ditch bag too.
Yeah,
and having it somewhere close by that you can grab it quickly.
Yeah,
because it does happen in a hurry.
Quick.
And when those dominoes start to fall, there's no stopping it, and you don't have a lot of time to react. So you have to be prepared, know what to grab, where to grab, what to say on the radio,
and you have to have a plan.
Yeah,
you have to have a plan. I was on a group trip. We had a lady captain who was running the event. We had 4 people per boat. She came running at me on her vessel, waving her arms at me. And I was fishing and catching some fish, and I was getting a little irritated. I'm like, "Why is she coming over here? Like, I don't understand."
Stay off my flat.
Turned out she was filling with water. So she asked me to take her people, which I did, and the life jackets. I'm like, "Give me the life jackets." So she opened up the hatch. She had water all in her boat. The minute the people got off her boat, she froze, like literally froze. And I'm like, "Yo, Cap, you got to go. You can't freeze. Go. Luckily, there was another boat there that followed her back to the Gandy boat ramp, and she made it just back to the boat ramp in time. But I saw this panic come over her face where she just froze.
Yeah.
And I'm like, you can't have that right there.
Yeah.
You got to have already thought of this and be ready to do something.
Yep.
Otherwise I'm just marking the spot because we have a new snapper reef right here in the middle of the bay.
Well, it's like anything, right? Once you get scared, once your fight or flight response kicks in, it's really easy to freeze up and not react unless you have prepared, thought through, or even drilled.
Yes.
Drilled is a big thing. We're unique in the fact that we're U.S. Coast Guard inspected vessels. So we have to do quarterly drills, but we do end up doing monthly drills. And it's really helpful to walk through these things. And then when the Coast Guard comes out, a lot of times they'll make us perform these drills so we can demonstrate that we know what we're doing and how to do it.
It's a good thing.
The Coast Guard will randomly throw a dummy overboard and make us do man overboard drills. They'll randomly call out fires on parts of the vessel, and we have to react to the fire. It's interesting. And just recently, we went through these drills, and it's so helpful to keep prepared.
The drill part is huge, especially when you're dealing with big vessels like yours with so many people on board. They're big for everybody, but in your case, really, really big. That's a big boat. Phone lines are open here, 1-800-969-9352. Light them up. Let's talk some fishing. We'll be back.
I got you. Yeah, we were headed out of the pass on a half-day trip. Alternator locked up, so the serpentine belt spinning around the front of the motor smoked it. So all of a sudden, we're heading out of the channel in the bridge. Boat's filling with smoke. Someone's yelling fire, and you're in the middle of the channel. Tide's rushing. You're in between the bridge fenders, Yeah, not a good situation. Lost a main engine. So you have a fire in an engine room, first thing you do is shut down power because it could be an electrical fire. So yeah. So lose power to the mains. Yeah. Not a good situation. But
how long did
everybody reacted well.
You spent some time at the helm, huh?
Yeah.
Running the boat?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, quite a few trips for a while. Like 21 to about 23 was pretty full time. And then you got pulled into management. But yeah, drilling is a big thing. And every trip you go out on, you definitely think through it. But yeah, they responded nicely. Cut the power, put in the blocks so the engine room's not getting oxygen. So that way, if there was an ash fire, because you have the different types of fire, right? So you cut the power to make sure it's not a current or a sea fire. You cut the oxygen in case it's an ash fire. You can smother it, and then trying to figure out what in the world happened. Throw the hook, secure the boat, investigate, and luckily it was just belt smoking. It wasn't actually a fire. Scary. The other thing is they teach us how to react and how to put the boat, the fire, like you want to make sure if your wind's out of the north, if you're having a fire, you would put your bow to the south. So that way, like if the fire's on the bow, the wind's out of the north, you point the bow south. So that way that north wind is blowing the fire off the boat, instead of making it spread down the boat. Thinking about things like that. Fire at sea is the scariest thing.
Yeah, I can imagine.
Having trouble finding a plumber or an electrician you can trust to come in is clean, honest, trustworthy, reasonably priced, and shows up on time? Captain Mike Anderson here for Titan Plumbing and Electric. My friend Jojo is the owner, and I've known him and his family for over 15 years. And when Beth and I were getting work done on our home, he was the first.
Angel, I need coffee every morning. Coffee's always good.
Titan Plumbing and Electric today, 813-933-8010, and find out for yourself what thousands of customers already know. Titan Plumbing and Electric is a company you can trust. TitanPlumbingAndElectric.com.
You hear more and more about identity theft in the news every day. That's because so much of your personal info is out of your control. Your insurance provider that has your social security number and your favorite retailer that has your payment info. If they get breached, your information will know. That's why LifeLock monitors millions of data points a second for threats. If your identity's stolen, they'll fix it guaranteed.
Drill, baby, drill.
Save up to 40%.
What are you talking about?
Dave Lizard text me. Sure he's listening to the show.
Are you having trouble hearing?
Oh.
Hearing loss can devastate the quality of your life. Now, there's an affordable fix for you or your loved one. Rated in the best hearing aids of 2024 by USA Today, RDM Hearing has the highest quality hearing aids at the lowest prices. Just $189.
I actually like them better than my old $5,000 hearing aids.
I could not believe how my hearing had left Chase. Join over 500,000 happy customers by going to RDMHearing.com. That's AUDIEN.
Lifted.
Between the lines or beyond legal.
And then a nap.
Under the surface. Dangerous
And then I'm going on the boat.
Nice.
Matt Frederick and Noel Brown introduce you to the world of stuff they don't want you to know. We've officially entered the age of bio.
Have you been out to Irma Pass behind the storm? You don't fish out there at all.
I used to go in there, but that pass changes so fast.
Yeah, behind Debbie, my in-laws go out there all the time, and my father-in-law rode the jet ski out there, and he was like, dude, behind Debbie, I don't know if we're going to be able to get the boat in there anymore.
But sooner or later, it's going to close back in.
Yeah. It was pretty close last time.
Yeah. Welcome back. Again, 1-800-969-9352. Those are your digits to dial the show if you want to talk fishing. Our good friend Jason Behringer is on the other side of the wall. His will be the first voice you hear if you want to dial us up with your questions, comments, fishing reports. Want to put a shout out to our good friends at Affordable Roofing Systems. We've been talking about this company for years. D. Hubs has used them. Captain Big Ben Marshall just got his roof done before Debbie came through, and neither one of them could have any more great things to say about this incredible company. David Torres, great family man, just great people. I've had him and his daughters on the boat. Just absolutely love the family. And I love everything they stand for, whether you need a shingle, metal, tile, or a flat roof. They're your safest choice for repairs or replacements. Over 3 decades now, when we were talking about innovative pools and spas, being a family-run business, got the same thing with affordable roofing systems here. David Torres and his family are just phenomenal people. Integrity, respect, honesty, professional approach to doing business. The type of people you want doing work on your home. Call 1-888-397-ROOF for your free estimate or visit them online at affordableroofingflorida.com.
Yes, sir.
So let me ask you this about, and I'm just curious because now it's been even longer with the Relentless knives on the boats.
Mm-hmm.
Still the same?
Still the same.
Ridiculous.
Really, really, really good, standing the test of time.
That's good.
Yeah. No rust.
They're pricey.
It's amazing.
It's one of them deals, you know. It was interesting when Relentless Knives first came on the market. They called me and I started to dive into the brand a little bit. And, you know, I'm like, well, what's the price point? He was like, $200. I'm like, damn, dude, $200 for a fillet knife?
Mm-hmm.
So I called Jim Bickle at Gator Gyms because nobody does tackle and fishing
the tackle
knives.
sales.
Yeah, tackle sales like Jim Bickle. He knows the business so well. That's why they have so many great deals at Gator Gyms. And I immediately said, I'm like, hey, I got this knife company, and they're reaching out to me, and, they seem impressive, great people, blah, 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 veterans, but $200 for a fillet knife. He was like, Mike, I sell pliers that are $400. He said if they're
good whiskey costs money.
He said if they're good, they'll sell. It's
Yeah.
that simple, and they're selling because they're that good.
Mm-hmm.
And it's funny because I have a pair of those $400 pliers on my hip because they're good.
Mm-hmm.
Every time somebody comes out with a $100 pair and I try them, the cutters go bad in like 2 months.
Yeah.
I've had the same cutters on my Van Stahl pliers for like a year and a half.
Wow.
I mean, they last a long time. I have replaced them because you will have to replace them. But if you're not cutting wire with them, just cutting braid and fluoro, they last a long time. Like you said, good whiskey costs money. It makes a difference. So
Yeah.
That's why I was asking about Relentless because, again, everyone that touches them seems to love them. So
they're so well balanced. They feel good in the hand. There's no slip. It's a good knife. It's a little strange to cut with the first time just because of that rough edge. You got to get used to it a little bit. But once you get through that learning curve, it's a great blade.
Yeah. Well, that's the cool part, not having to sharpen, filleting a pile of fish and not having to resharpen and resharpen and resharpen.
Yeah, you
Saves
eventually
a lot of
have
time.
to knock off that end of that Y, as George talks about, but it's pretty far down the road.
Yeah, you got a little time.
Yeah,
You got a little time. That's
it's
impressive.
a great product.
Yeah, that's impressive for sure. Well, we'll talk some more about your trip to Biloxi coming up. I'm interested to dive into
We got the
some of
Golf Council
things.
meeting. We've got the Yes on 2 fundraiser event coming up on that is September 12th from 5:30 to 7. So want to make sure we're talking about that too. And there's also a FWC meeting coming up in about a month as well. So lots of stuff on the horizon here.
Lots of stuff to talk about. Hopefully we'll hear from you guys as well. Everybody's sleeping in this morning, which I fully understand. 1-800-969-9352. We'll be back. Bartow Forward, Real Animals Radio Show.
The local Lexus dealers, WFLA News Desk.
Got to slide in a little Gator Jim's love there, baby.
Yeah. Love me some Gator Gems.
Espresso. Yes, I do. Espresso would be great, especially for the gym.
Dude, I don't know how you work out without some caffeine.
Just can't do it anymore.
Whenever we get these storm systems, they punch holes in the
You
sandbar,
get
which
used to it.
causes hazardous recurrent conditions. So we're expecting those conditions to last throughout the weekend.
I did have my tea this morning, my tapas tea. It's got a little ginseng in it, I guess, so probably pretty close.
No,
Not
it
close?
is not.
It's not close?
I mean, it might have the same effect on you if you're not used to it, but I mean, for me, I'm gonna need some solid espresso to make a dent in anything.
Yeah.
Like 400 milligrams of caffeine.
You
It's good
train
to
in
go.
the morning, so you get your caffeine before you train?
So I do cardio in the morning. I wake up, stretch for 30 minutes, and I do 30 minutes of cardio, then get ready to go to work. And then in the afternoon is when I train. But I need a big shot of caffeine because in the morning I drink some good coffee. Then about 10 o'clock I stop. And I get through the day fine. But like post lunch, need a little bit of caffeine. But before, when I'm leaving work to go to the gym, yeah, I need a big shot of caffeine. That takes the discipline for sure.
Yeah.
But I signed up our staff. I've got like 26 of the staff members signed up for gym memberships now. So,
Really?
So now some of the crew and captains are joining me. So it's trying to get the momentum going.
Healthy environment.
Yeah.
Good for you.
The office staff is taking to it.
I have a lot of people look at me very funny, but it's one of my favorite places.
Mm-hmm.
People are like, how could you possibly like the gym?
It's free therapy, man.
I've been in there.
Well, not free.
Been in there
Cheap therapy.
I've been in there so long. It's weird. We've had moments in our marriage where my wife was like, "You go, just go to the gym. I know you haven't been in 4 days. Just go, because right now you're
get out of my face.
You're an a-hole. Go get a workout." Because my wife trains with me, and she trains pretty hard, but she'll tell you if she could just, somebody came down with a miracle pill that she could just be in great shape and never have to be in the gym again, she would take it.
Mm-hmm.
Where I'm like different. I'm like, no, I want to be in the gym.
It's always comical too. Everybody's always like, "Hey, so what's the secret?" The secret is there isn't a secret.
I've been asked a million times, especially the older I get, what's the secret to the gym, dude? How do you get so big? Go. So I tell them.
Yeah.
Like, you have to go.
And for me, it's funny now, like I said, I signed up a bunch of the staff. So a bunch of the staff are like, well, I'm going to start soon, but I want to get into a little bit of shape first. I want to do some running first. I'm like, just go. You got to start somewhere. And then others are like, well, I'm going to wait until it slows down a little bit and I have more time. I'm like, if you wait for the perfect time, it's never going to come.
You got to go.
You got to get started.
And it'll become a habit.
Yeah.
Start to feel good.
But it takes a while to become a habit, for sure.
Yeah.
I feel like once you start to see results, that's the little breadcrumb. Yeah. And then as you see more results, and then once you get a lot of results, it's like you're addicted at that point.
For sure. For sure. Morning, Scott Cole. Nobody wants to call us today.
Quiet morning.
So what the hell are those people? Put some new reels on my Signature Series rod that I just got. Nice combination. Nice combination. Go out there and jerk on some redfish lips.
You did that now because you're filming, right? Makes sense.
Yeah. I have some for filming. Because these shows won't air until next week.
Going on now. Buy more and save more on all new soft products. Volume discounts up to 30% off.
That makes Makes sense. So is Outdoor Nation the new Gills like brand name basically?
No, Outdoor Nation is just a one-stop shop for salt life.
FinTech, Gills, all them.
Yeah.
So it's the overall arching brand. Yeah, because I feel like I can't keep up every time I ask for the Real Animals logo changes.
Really?
Because there's always different little tags on it. You know?
Just use the one that says Gills.
I didn't. I used the one that because I called Cameron and I said, "Hey, send me the most recent logo."
I got you.
And it said Outdoor Nation on it.
That's fine. That'll work. That's the one they want up on the show now. So
that's why I've learned my lesson. I just call Cameron and say, "Send me the most updated." I expanded my contract with him, so now he actually answers the phone. It's nice.
I'll do it. I will do it. Welcome back, 7:37 here at the iHeartMedia Empire. Our last big segment of the morning. Going to open here with a shout out to our good friends at Ace Heating and Cooling. For over 20 years now, Ace Heating and Cooling has been a name you can trust in the heating and air conditioning business in Hillsborough County. Our good friend Chris Myers and his guys service all brands. They do residential and commercial repairs, maintenance, and full replacements. They send out technicians, not salesmen. They are trying to build long-lasting customer relationships that hold up over time, and they do a great job of it. Give them a call today at 813-657-8818 or look them up online at brandonac.net.
Nice. Fishy Cats.
Hall of Famer.
Lisa.
Hall of Famer.
Lisa. She's on the line. We've been graced with her presence.
Hall of Famer. Wow. Let's go to the phones.
Drum roll, please.
Our good friend. I don't even know if you can. Do you drum roll for Hall of Famers? I mean, what kind of?
I think they have parades.
I think they have parades.
Jackets, right? And there's a drum roll.
Walk-up songs. I like that. We should play that from now on. We'll have to get our
You
boys
have to have
on.
your people call our people.
Right.
And by our people, I mean me.
Invincible by Demi Lovato. There you go.
Invincible.
Okay.
I like that. How are you?
We'll have that queued up next time.
How are you,
We
my
apologize.
friend? Yeah.
Come on, get it right, boys, if you're going to do it.
Right? No doubt.
No, I'm kidding.
Fair enough.
Everything is great. We're up in Ocala today at the North Central Outdoor Expo. What a great show. If you don't have anything to do and you're around Central Florida, the Ocala area, at the Ocala Equestrian Center, what a gorgeous place. We're there with our boats, showing off the deck cat, the sea-doo, and the spider. Nice. Come out and see us. I mean, we've only got about 2.5, maybe 3 weeks left of fishing, but the fishing is on fire, and no one who has been registered and a CCA member has captured a tagged redfish that allows them to win one of these amazing prizes. I'm just
crazy.
Yeah, no one.
Really?
We still have all of them. Yes.
Oof. That's a lot of chances to win. A lot of chances to win still in the water. Wow.
Yes.
That's crazy.
But then you think about it. Think about it, guys. It's not just the tagged redfish. You have the opportunity to win a brand new Carolina skiff. All you have to do is catch an inshore species of fish that's legal, take a picture of it, submit it through the app, and you have the opportunity to win. Remember, you have to have the measuring device in order to do that. But, I mean, there are so many ways. Picking up trash, catching offshore species, any fish you catch. If you take a picture of it with the official measuring device, submit it into the competition, and we do a random drawing in the Power Pole Conservation Division. So many different ways to win. But because I'm on the show with you guys today, I'm going to give you a little hint.
Come on.
There are, since we don't have any winners, there are 2 counties that have 8 total tagged redfish apiece. That is Charlotte County, Charlotte Harbor, and Citrus County.
Citrus County.
And if you guys in these last 3 weeks, if you want a double your opportunity to find a fish, you want to go to either Charlotte County or Citrus County. And now I'm going to go even further and give you areas to look.
Dirty.
Wow.
You go, Hall of
I
Famer.
know.
Come on.
Come on. It's only on your show.
Come on. You're the best.
You're a listener.
Drop it.
So, Citrus County, there are a couple of places where people are known to catch redfish. One of them, everyone goes out to and sits out there. It is the spoil banks. We've released fish on the spoil banks in Citrus County. We've released fish just in the area of Yankeetown. We've also released fish over near Shark Point. And then also we've released down near the Thousand Islands down in the Homosassa area.
Okay.
Wow.
So those are for Citrus County. In Charlotte County, if you will look you go into Turtle Bay, there's an oyster reef that we just replenished. We've released a fish in that area. I'm not going to say the exact area, but it is around that area. And then we've also released fish over in the Three Sisters. I believe it's called Three Sisters area. And then also over by Jug Creek Shoal.
Ooh.
So those are 3 different areas where I have given you the opportunity to try and find a tagged redfish.
That's as good as it gets right there.
Hall of Famer.
Wow.
Dropping dimes.
I want to make sure that people are catching fish. I can't give you the exact location.
Yeah, short of dropping pins. That's as close as you get.
Right.
Get out on the water wherever in those areas where you know that redfish is where you're going to try and target. And then take a look on our website at past locations where people have caught tagged redfish, and that might give you a hint as to where to target catching a tagged redfish.
You're the best. Nobody does it better. We appreciate you, my friend. Good job.
Well, thank you. October the 12th is our Star Awards ceremony. It will be in Crystal River at Sweet Citrus Acres, The Grove. Make your reservations at the Plantation. Or if you have an RV, come up and stay right on property. Then you can stumble back to your RV after the award ceremony is over.
Yeah, that's right. It's a great piece of property, too.
It's like someone's planned that.
Well, I'll be at the Plantation for sure.
Well, we appreciate you guys so much, and thank you. I hope someone gets out there and catches a tagged redfish, and I get the opportunity to give away either a contender, a deck hat, a spider, a microdraft skiff, a Can-Am Sea-Doo package, or one of our other great prizes.
Microdraft skiff would be nice. Good job, my friend. Well done. We'll talk soon.
Thank you.
Thank you. Have a great day.
You too. There's our good friend, Captain Lisa Fitzgerald, CCA Florida Star Tournament
Dropping
Director.
locations.
You should
and
be
in
in.
all the years of listening to your show, being a part of your show, I've never heard locations given.
Oh, except for Mahoney.
Yeah.
Mahoney does it. That's
but he doesn't
move.
know. He doesn't know where the tagged redfish are.
No, you're right.
I've never heard locations.
No, I
given
never
of
have either.
Where
No.
tagged redfish
She went and got
were
dirty
released.
with that. Yeah,
That's amazing.
She went and got dirty with that. We got a couple of callers here. Let's try to get through them before we get to the break here. Check in with our good friend Dave Legier with Flats Nation. David, how are you?
Hey, good morning, brother.
What's
Speaking of Miss Lisa, she has her rum. Thankfully, she just released where I know to go find that tagged redfish now.
I was going to say, that's close to you, I think.
It's in my backyard, but don't say anything.
Well, I'll keep it down low. I'll keep it down low for you. Nice.
Until the break.
I love it. She's got her rum. You've got the beer, and Flats Nation has the Java now. So, and I'm going to
nice.
share the snob level process in making it soon. But we have a great collaboration with Frail Coffee.
Oh, good.
I went through a few bags testing it, and just wanted to invite everybody to try some. Their first and ongoing orders, just use the promo code FLATSNATION, all one word, when ordering, and then save yourself 10% on it.
I like it. What's the name of it?
Freo. It's Spanish for outdoors.
Okay.
So 5% is going to conservation efforts. So
nice.
We really like the impact of that at the same time. And I was always of the mindset of death before decaf.
Amen. 100% on board.
I can't mainline that caffeine all day long anymore, and I've seen my share of time and tides, and I've tried other decaf roast in the past, but as we say here in the South, that dog don't hunt, which is not the case with ours. This stuff is really good. And I'm thankful that it is, because I was starting to think I was going to have to become a teetotaler or something after a while. That caffeine was just tearing me up late in the day. But got a couple other updates on Flats Nation. I sent you the link on the article that Brother Rick wrote on Vote Yes on 2. He did an awesome job with that one. And I love the fact that he wrote the article, because it gave me time just to be the photographer and just edit the photography for it. So I think I'm going to have him write some more and save me some time. And then
the link is up on the Facebook pages at Hubbard's and Real Animals as well for that article.
Yep.
Good stuff.
And lastly, we had talked about the photography show. That one's up now. Keith Flusher did a great job on that one. And in that article, we have some tips on getting some better photography, even with your phone.
Yeah,
when you're out there on the water. So looking forward to expand that one out. That's for sure.
Those are good tips.
I got them all featured on the top row of FlatsNation.com, so you can check them out.
Perfect.
I wanted to thank everybody for the recent feedback. We have a lot of things happening for sure. But
good.
It was great to hear that Miss Lisa told me where the red is, so I'm gonna lower the skiff down here later on.
Good luck.
Go
get
catch him up. I got Captain Page here on the other line. I got to get him in here quick. David, good to hear your voice, brother. Good job you're doing there with Flats Nation. Keep up the good work. All right, partner, you too. FlatsNation.com right there. Good stuff. Let's check in with one of the best in the business here on the west coast of Florida, actually in the whole state of Florida, our good friend Captain Jeff Page. Jeffrey, how are you, brother?
Good morning, man. Good listening to you, and I liked her giving those tips myself.
I bet. I was about to say, that's right in your area, too.
Yeah, well, I don't get down to the harbor as much as I used to, but I know that area pretty good. And
you might
I'll
now.
tell you a true story. I had some folks on my boat one October. It was like a month after it ended. This was probably 10 years ago, or when it first started, when 6a-8a Star Florida had just started. It might have been in its second year. And they caught one, but the thing was over, and they were entered as well.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
Yeah, they caught one in Sarasota Bay, but the party was over. So it was just trivia.
That's painful.
I mean, I think I would rather not have caught it. You
right.
know what I mean?
100%.
Yeah, definitely.
No doubt. Yeah.
Seeing that close, but being that far.
Let's just skip that.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's a little too painful.
I'll tell you what they've done every year since then. They've entered, and they still are out there trying to get the winner.
How's your fishing down there, Jeffrey? How's Sarasota?
Well, I'll tell you, it was right after that the seas laid down from that tropical.
Mm-hmm.
Out on the beach was probably some of the best fishing I'd seen all summer. Big areas of mackerel feeding. Little tarpons everywhere, from Lido Beach all the way down to Venice Jetty. Just little groups of 10 to 20 pounders just rolling. If you got a bait in front of them, they ate it.
Wow.
And then each day that water got cleaner, things got quieter. And then I went like 2 days ago, and I didn't see anything like I had seen earlier in the week. So
interesting.
I think
Those little tarpon being on the beach, is that normal, or do you think they got flushed out with all that fresh water?
I think they got flushed out.
Yeah,
Dylan. I think they got flushed out because
interesting.
I've never seen this many. And my buddy Stacy, who's a really, really good tarpon fisherman, he's never seen anything like it either. And
yeah, that's
crazy. It was pretty impressive. And then one day it was just me and him out there, and I mean we were just catching them at will.
That's crazy.
And then the next day it got a little tougher. You had to kind of be a little more patient. And then the third day, they were non-existent. There was a few, but it wasn't.
Yeah.
So I think they went back in the bays and wherever they go.
They're like, oh, we're not supposed to be here.
He is mysterious.
Yeah, he is mysterious. There's no doubt about it. Hey, brother, good to hear your voice, my friend. Stay in touch with us, pal. We're up against the break here, but always love it when our main man, Captain Jeff Page, joins us for a couple of minutes. So good stuff.
You guys
Good to hear from you.
Pay attention out there to all the schools of bait, because we know what's about to happen. The schools of redfish should start rolling in. I believe a lot of those fish will get pushed in from all that stuff offshore.
I agree. We have actually seen a couple schools already in Tampa Bay, which is a little early, but we have seen a couple of schools early. So hopefully that'll continue to improve, brother. Good segment as always. We appreciate you, dog.
All right, man. Have a good day.
All right,
See you,
partner.
buddy.
The legend, Captain Jeff Page. Hall of Famers, legends, Flats Nation, all good stuff. We're up against the clock here. Going to take a short break, wrapping things up on the other side. We'll be back.
For more information about contests on...
Oh, yeah. Wow.
There's that, right?
Mm-hmm. Entirely too long to sit down in the chair.
Wait till I drive 12 hours to Louisiana.
Yeah, right. I might not make it. That's a long drive to Louisiana. I wouldn't want to drive that far. I'm driving to Biloxi. It's only about 8 hours. I feel like 8 hours is not as bad as 12. I feel like for me, like that 8 to 9 hour mark is like my limit. Start to really get fried after driving that long. I could not pull it off as a trucker. For sure. Morning, Gary. Citrus Park. What's up, Chris? Mick, thank you. Appreciate it. Glad you enjoy the show. Alan, glad you enjoyed Capt Just Call. Morning, Steve. John, good luck out there, man. Definitely interesting that she gave locations on where those tagged redfish are. Scott, I think Lisa was given locations to Citrus and Manatee. Wait, Citrus and Charlotte County, because those are the counties with double tagged redfish. I believe every county got 4, and Citrus and Charlotte County got 8 tagged redfish. So I think that's why she focused on that. Chris, the nighttime mangrove bite is going to be best around a full moon, but like we talked about earlier in the show, that's only one of the variables, right? So you could target a full moon for the night mangrove bite, but then if it's a cloudy night, that offsets it. Last night we had a 12-hour night snapper. The bite was a little tough. That east wind was stiffer than expected. They only forecasted about 2.3 foot seas last night. Ended up blowing a lot more, ended up being bumpier than expected, was more than 3 foot for most of the night. So I ended up kind of making the night bite tough for that 12-hour night snapper. The 39-hour last night did really well, but the mangrove bite wasn't that great. They mostly caught yellowtail. They caught over 200 yellowtail snapper, about 100 mangroves, a bunch of big triggerfish, and some nice big red snapper too. So the 39-hour or 44-hour did well last night. 12-hour struggled a little.
Welcome back. Wrapping things up here on a beautiful Saturday morning. Again, we thank you guys who have chosen to join us, those chiming in on the Real Animals Facebook page, the Hubbard's Facebook page. We do appreciate you very much. Want to put a shout out to our good friends at Power Pucks. The world's first power-supplied trolling motor quick-release bracket eliminates the need for an exterior power plug, which can snag lines, corrodes easily, and is really just an eyesore and clutters up the deck of your boat. Go to powerpucks.com. Find out for yourself why so many of the pros are making the switch to Power Pucks. That's PWRPUX.com. I've got one on the 26 Contender Bay. I've got one on the 18 KO, my skiff. Wouldn't have it any other way. It's a great product. Paul Payne, it's a local product. As far as local, I mean, it is a Florida-based product. They're right across the state over there in Titusville. Paul Payne's a great guy. He's done a great job with the Power Pucks. Make sure you check that thing out. It's super cool. And then, obviously, we want to put a shout-out to our new partner, Innovative Pools and Spa. Again, super excited to have them guys on board, Stacy and Tommy. Over 35 years, family-owned business, over 10,000 pools to their name. Second-generation family business built on quality, trust. They use extra rebar, more concrete, cutting-edge equipment to make sure your pool is built to last. So it's really an incredible, incredible company. Fishy people, which is always important to us. Give them a call today at 727-405-2994. Right now, they're throwing out a discount for the fall season here of $5,000 off on your new pool or spa. You need to give them a call today. It's absolutely incredible. Super excited to have them on board.
Always good to have new fishy partners, family-owned and operated.
It is.
Good people.
It is. Remember to vote yes on 2 here coming up November 5th. That's going to be very, very important. That's the right to hunt and fish. We're going to keep talking about that and pounding that thing. You need to tell everyone you know. There's no hidden agenda there. There's no crazy politics in it. It's a simple creating the right to hunt and fish, and securing that right is the only reason you need to vote yes on 2.
Yeah, yes on 2 is a big, big thing. It's hunting and fishing is a privilege. We want to make it a right, and there's been attempts in other states to criminalize the right to hunt and fish, or criminalize the opportunity to hunt and fish. And so we're trying to preserve and enshrine that as a right in our Florida state constitution. We'll be the 24th state to do it if it passes. It's really, really important. The opposition is strong. They're spending a lot of money. These environmental groups are definitely out in arms, full force, spreading rumors like, oh, it will allow the net ban to go away and they'll be able to gill net fish again. That's not true. Don't listen to the rumors. Don't fall into the trap of the misinformation campaigns that are going on social media. We are being shadow banned on social media. If you put the yes on 2 Florida, it gets blocked. It's very frustrating. But got a fundraiser event coming up on September 12th, 5:30 to 7 p.m. at Shooters World in Tampa for yes on 2. Would love to have you join us.
I wanted to be there so bad.
It's going to be fun.
I know they called me about it. I'm like, yes, I will attend. And I'm like, oh, I'm going to be in Gainesville at the CCA banquet. But like, doggone it, Shooters World. I mean, finally an event. It's
an event at Shooters World.
Right. It's an event you can get behind.
And then
when she
get more of these.
The lady told me it was at Shooters World. I'm like, good God, this has got me written all over.
I'm going to go early.
Right, yeah. I'm going to go shoot a little bit.
I'll be 4 hours early.
Exactly. Super, super good stuff. Again, big shout out to Jason Barringer for keeping us on the airwaves this morning. Again, thank you to everyone who joined us. We appreciate you. Make sure you tune in tomorrow morning, 7 to 9 a.m. for the T. Mahoney Company Real Animals Radio Show.
And don't forget, if you're too busy to go fishing, you're just too darn busy.
Tight lines, everybody. Have a great week. Stay safe out there. We're out.
The preceding program was paid for by Real Animals Fishing.
Thanks for tuning in, y'all. Thanks for joining us on the show this morning. Hopefully you enjoyed it. Hopefully we'll see you tomorrow night, 7:30 p.m. for the live stream show. If you want a chance to win free fishing trips, you want to talk more about what's going on now, what's coming up, and more. And definitely excited. We got a lot of great fishing going on. We got the Gulf Council meeting coming up next week. We got a lot of stuff happening. Plus, like we talked about earlier, it's on the doorstep of that transition time of year. A little early, but it seemingly has been a little early all the way around the block this year. We had a little bit of an early spring. We had seemingly are starting to a little bit of an early fall transition. Things are happening. Things are moving. So it's a good time to get out there and take advantage of it. Lighter loads, not a lot of people on the water. The fish are biting, and bite is hot. just like the temperatures.
Don't forget our good friends at Reese Windows and Doors. If you need windows and doors for your home, go to reesewindowsanddoors.com. You won't be disappointed. Great company there for sure.
Yep, and hopefully we'll see you tomorrow, 7 to 9 a.m., Real Animal Sunday, tomorrow night, 7:30 p.m., for the Sunday night show, and hopefully again next week and every Saturday morning, 6 a.m. to 8 a.m. for another episode of the Saturday show. Y'all have a great day. Tight lines. We're out.